I'll work on that note. And
We'll be right back with more topics here on The Range. Stay tuned.
all right, welcome back to the range. And just before we went to break, we were talking about Donte Stallworth and his future. And I want to go on a topic that we actually haven't talked about very much. It's been overshadowed by a lot of different other sports, namely the NBA All-Star Game and different things like that. But the Winter Olympics, and there's special thing about the Winter Olympics going on right now is that the United States has the gold medal count in their lead in their possession at the moment, and they've been doing it with some very good athletes. In top of the list, Lindsey Vonn, who suffered a shin injury the night before she went on to fight for the gold medal. She pulled it out and was the first American to win the alpine skiing contest. First American ever to do that in the Winter Olympics, and that's huge coming off of that injury. Another thing to look at that the United States is dominant in pretty much is women's hockey. We talked about, I think we gave a shout out to the women's hockey team for destroying a team. Was it Russia or Canada? Russia 18 to nothing. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So, and even though they're getting these gold medals and they're really pursuing well, it comes down mainly to the country as a whole winning these medals. And in my opinion, I think it's good for individual, but as a country, we want our country to be ahead of the top. So, as the Olympics go on, what do y'all see as in the future for just the rest of these gold medals, and who's going to win it out?
Well, mainly what I've been watching with the Winter Olympics is I've been watching the men's hockey, and they're building Canada up because they have perhaps the best hockey player that's playing right now in Sidney Crosby, and Canada's roster is pretty loaded, so they're building Canada up, but I think they could stumble and Russia could leap into the gold medal. So I'm focused on that.
Specifically, I want to talk about Lindsey Vonn. This woman who got injured on the 2nd of February, a shin injury, hasn't skied at all.
Until what? 2 days ago?
Until 2 days ago, had a hard practice run, and then the first event, she comes out and wins the downhill and got gold, and she beat out her arch rival. I don't know how to say her name, but it's Julia Mancuso. I think that's how it says. She got second, so that gave the U.S. a 1-2 finish in the downhill. So big ups to both of them for bringing a 1-2 finish to a sport that a lot of Americans really don't watch. As far as just the Winter Olympics in general.
Yeah. Frankly, before the Olympics started, and I heard about Lindsey Vonn and how good she was. I know she's signed up for 5 events in this one. It's now turned out she may drop out on 1 or 2 just because of that injury. Before the Winter Olympics started, I was thinking if she won at least 3 medals, 3 out of 5 medals, she'd be set, and she'd be the hero of this year's Winter Olympics for the USA. But now with this whole shin injury, where she didn't even practice until 2 days before the race and stuff, I said just winning a medal. Not even, it didn't have to be gold. It could have been silver or bronze. But if she would have just won at least a medal, I would have gave her props for that. But you know what? The fact that she got Olympic gold and just going after one practice run, I got to give it to her. The girl's good. Now there's talk that she might not drop out of 1 or 2 because the shin felt a little sore, still a little bruised up. But she felt good enough to where if she had to go again tomorrow, she could. But is that adrenaline going? I don't know. But really and truly, that's amazing. Just to have that kind of injury and still win Olympic gold and beat your arch rival. Really good. Congratulations.
That is pretty good. And another note on the hockey, you know how they say Sydney plays for Canada, but you got to remember, Ovechkin plays for Russia. Yeah. And Russia hasn't won it since '92, the gold medal. So you got to be careful with that. Now, big news in the NBA, specifically for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cleveland Cavaliers have acquired Antwan Jamison and I guess you can say Sebastian Telfair might make some kind of an impact, but he's there too. Now, Cleveland was fighting hard to try to get Amari, but Amari wanted Ilgauskas and Hickson, but Cleveland
really didn't want to give up Hickson for him.
Yeah.
So now that Amari's out of the picture, now they got Jamison as the wingman for LeBron. Do you think that Jamison is a better fit for the Cavs? And if so, do you think he can get them straight to the NBA Finals?
Well, for that, I mean, Antwan Jamison, really good player, just in on a really bad team. So, I mean, you don't really get to hear a lot from Antwan Jamison. But when the Wizards were doing really good, you heard his name a lot, him and Gilbert Arenas.
All-Star.
So you gotta remember that. So you know the guy has some game. Second of all, the Cavs, I think, pulled the trigger on this a little too early, because according to some sources that I was listening to, I should not say I was watching, I was listening to, because I was taking a really good nap at the time. But the Suns had actually downgraded their offer to get Amari, to send Amari Stoudemire to the Cavs, and not asking for Hickson, but they were just asking for like Anthony Parker, maybe Anderson Varejao, something like that, just to kind of match up with something. But by that time, it already went through that they were going to get Antwan Jamison. So in all that, the Cavs are taking themselves out of that. The Heat now rise to be the favorite to get him. And if they can put a deal together, then I say yes, by tomorrow morning he should be gone. Stoudemire's agent already said he'll be gone. He feels 98% that he'll be done. So I mean that's already an indication that this deal was going to happen either way it went. Then also, does this put the Cavs for the row of that nonchalant teams? No, because I mean Antwan Jamison, as good as he is when he wants to be good, will he want to be good playing at least third fiddle in Cleveland? Because everybody knows LeBron James gets first touch. Shaq may get the second. You are the third option on that team. Can you handle that is the question. So, I mean, let's just see what he can do.
Yeah, I think Antwan Jamison, I mean, once he gets going into the system, he'll know his role, especially once like Mo Williams gets back into the lineup. And also Leon Poe. He'll be making his season debut in just a few weeks. So Antwan Jamison is a good fit for the Cavaliers team. I mean, on the already loaded roster. I mean, LeBron James, everyone knows that that's his team. So he doesn't have to worry about Antwan Jamison coming in and steal his thunder. So Antwan Jamison, he's going to give you valuable minutes and valuable effort on the court. I mean, he can get you 15 points,
Rebounds,
and 10 rebounds if he were to come off the bench. But if he were starting, then it'll be kind of like 17 and 10. So technically, you're kind of gaining a little bit more of an edge with Antwan Jamison in the lineup. So Cleveland kind of elevates itself a little bit more on this fact of elite supremacy.
Yeah, I think that I definitely agree with you that they really moved themselves into a better position. But what I'm really looking at is Antwan Jamison himself. His NBA history. After starting with he was Golden State, and he went to Dallas. That didn't work out, and he went to Washington. And now he's been there ever since. The only time that Washington really had a good run was when they had Gilbert Arenas, Caron Butler, Antwan Jamison as well, and Brandon Haywood, and that whole elite group that led them to almost an Eastern Conference championship, in my opinion, I think. And, it's possible that Jamison can do that same thing in Cleveland because of what he has. He has LeBron James. He's also got Big Shaq down in the low post, as well as you said, Eric Flip Murray. But I just wanted to know if he can be as productive as he can be, like Cleveland said earlier. He can be good in the season, but at the same time, he may not be good in the postseason. So that's what I'm not saying he won't produce. That's what I'm going to be focusing on as the playoffs come closer to a head, and see if Antwan Jamison can step up, put the sneakers on, and get out in the court and produce.
Yeah, I mean, like what you're saying, you can say that Antwan Jamison does add a lot more depth to the team. So, I mean, it's almost unfair. It's almost unfair if you want to field the team, you want to add another former All-Star to that.
The question about this is, can this uplift that team to be just like the Pau Gasol trade 2 years ago?